Chapter 4, Lesson 4, Multiply Mixed Numbers. You will be able to multiply mixed numbers. First, change the mixed number into an improper fraction. Then, multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. And finally, reduce when possible. Find each product. So the first thing we have to do is we have to change the mixed number into an improper fraction. So 2 1/2, we do 2 times 2 plus 1, which is 5. So that would be 5/2 times 1/4. Multiply the numerators. 5 times 1 is 5. And the denominators, 2 times 4 is 8. That's reduced, therefore that is our product. 1/3 times 1 3/4. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So this is 7/4 as an improper fraction. Multiply across. 1 times 7 is 7. 3 times 4 is 12. And it cannot be reduced. 5 1/2 times 1/3. 5 1/2 is 11/2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Times 1/3. 11 times 1 is 11, and 2 times 3 is 6. Now, if it is an improper fraction as your product, change it back to a mixed number. So, there's a 6 here. 6 goes into 11 once, with 5 left over. Therefore, 1 and 5, 6. Letter D. 2/3 times 2 1/2. 2/3 times 2 1/2 is 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So 5/2, which equals 10/6. As a mixed number would be 1 and 4/6. But I can reduce that by dividing by 2, and I get 1 and 2/3. Letter E. 3/8 times 3 1/3. 3 1/3 is 10/3. 3 times 10 is 30. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 goes into 30 once, with 6 left over. I can divide numerator and denominator by 6. I get 1 and 1/4. Letter F. 1/2 times 2 3/8. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 3 is 19. Keep the denominator of 8. Multiply across, we get 19/16. 16 goes into 19 once, with 3 left over. Cannot be reduced, therefore 1 and 3/16. Melanie is training for a track meet. She ran 2 1/4 miles 5 times this week. How far did Melanie run this week? We need to multiply those together. Now this one we have to do a couple things. Let's change that mixed number into an improper. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So this is 9/4 times. And remember, 5 is a whole number, so we can put it over 1 to make it a fraction. 9 times 5 is 45, and 4 times 1 is 4. 4 goes into 45 11 times, with 1 left over. So it's 11 and 1/4. And how far? It'd be 11 and 1/4 miles. This time we're going to multiply a mixed number times a mixed number. We're going to do the same thing we did before as far as changing the mixed numbers into impropers, only this time we're going to have to do it to each number. So 1 7/8 is 15/8 as improper. And 3 1/3 is 10/3 as improper. Multiply across. 15 times 10 is 150. 8 times 3 is 24. Now, this time I'm going to reduce, or I'm going to change to a mixed number, but I'm going to have to do the long division for it. I don't know my multiples of 24 in my head. So 24 into 150. Let's try 6 and see where that takes us. Okay, looks like 6 works. So it looks like our answer is 6 and 6/24. I can reduce this fraction by dividing by 6. I would get 6 and 1/4 as the final product. Letter B, 1 3/4 times 2 4/5. 1 3/4 is 7/4 times 2 4/5 is 14/5. 7 times 14. Do it off to the side. Oops. We get 98 over 20. 20 goes into 98 4 times, which is 80, leaving 18 left over. I can definitely reduce this. I can divide by 2. I would get 4 and 9/10. The Hoover Dam contains 4.5 million cubic yards of concrete. The Grand Coulee Dam in Washington State contains 2 2/3 times as much concrete. How much concrete does it contain? So we're going to take 4 1/2 times 2 2/3. Oops. 4 1/2 is 9 over 2 times 2 2/3 is 8 over 3. 9 times 8 is 72. 2 times 3 is 6. And actually, 72 divided by 6 goes in evenly, which is 12. How much concrete does it contain? 12 million cubic yards. Letter D, Mr. Wilkins is laying brick to make a rectangular patio. The area he is covering with bricks is 15 1/2 feet by 9 3/4 feet. Now remember, to find the area of a rectangle, we do base times height. Okay. So it gives us the base and the height here. We multiply them together. So area equals base times height. Area equals 15 1/2 times 9 3/4. 15 1/2 is 31 halves. 9 3/4, 36, 37, 38, 39 fourths. Multiply across. Well, the denominators are 8, but we have to do 31 times 39. We have 9 and 27. Cross it off, put a placeholder. 3 and 3. Add them up. 9, 10, and 6. So this is 609. And let's do this long division here to change it back to a mixed number. 8 into 609. This would be 7 minus 56 is 4. Bring down the 9. 8 times 6 is 48. Subtract and get 1. So our final area would be 76 and 1/8 and this is feet, so area would be feet squared. Mr. Conrad's pecan pie recipe calls for 1 3/4 cup of pecans. He plans to make 8 pies for his family reunion. How many cups of pecans will Mr. Conrad need? We are going to take 1 3/4 and multiply it by 8 pies. Well, 1 3/4 as an improper would be 7/4 times, and the whole number 8 as a fraction would be 8 over 1. So multiply across. 7 times 8 is 56. 4 times 1 is 4. Let's do the long division here to see what it would be. Once. Subtract and get 1. Bring down the 6. 4 times exactly. So this worked out nicely here. We would need 14 cups of pecans.